United's first game of the Premier League Summer Series, and it highlights the absolute best and the worst of Amorim's system, particularly out of possession. There's been so much talk about the build-up style, and don't worry, I've got some talk about that later on. Did a video about it recently as well. Make sure you're checking that one out. Subscribe while you're there. But this out of possession shape for United, this eventually leads to United's second goal in this game. You can see I've highlighted that back four shape there. United used it a few times last season, and it worked seemingly whenever they did. Particularly in that last Premier League game up against Villa, they destroyed them with it. But in this game, it highlighted the best of it. Mino highlights that pass going into midfield. Don't know what the keeper's really doing playing that pass in the first place. But when it goes in there, Mino cuts that ball out. Fernandes does the rest. But for me, that four in the back shape, when the opposition have the ball, should be the standard. But United only really do it when you're pressing from opposition goal kicks. Instances like that where they can get things a little bit more set. I understand it. Obviously, it's easier to do it from instances like that. But if you're going to be that very, very top team, you've got to learn how to do it in different game states as well. You can't just be that really predictable team. But next, the absolute worst of United out of possession.
No! God, please, no!
I don't know really what went on here. Whether United did tire a little bit, this was the same team from the first half. But United, the front four, front five are pressing. But the rest of United's back line are sat on the halfway line. You've got De Ligt, you've got Heaven there, marking the same player. Souček, go and press him. He's not a big runner with the ball. Go and press him. What are you doing? You left with that absolute acre of space in behind United's midfield. He passes it out to Bowen. Bowen eventually gets West Ham's goal. If you're going to afford Premier League teams this much space in midfield, it's going to be an absolute nightmare next season. Obviously, pre-season, I know we're not going to take too much from single instances, but if that does continue, it's going to be a worry. Where the United's players were tired, I've said. That might be a case, obviously, for the defence. Another few instances out of possession before I start talking about United in possession. These sort of instances where United do get pushed a little bit more into that back five from open play, and this is a bit I don't like when Amorim goes to that 5-2-3 and we can't get a lot of pressure on the ball. This instance, you can see Dogu trying to pressure Wan-Bissaka. He had a great battle with Wan-Bissaka in this game, and I do think Dogu did very, very well. But in a couple of instances I'm going to show you here, the distance is far too much between the two players. Dogu trying to pressure him, he doesn't get there. Wan-Bissaka can play that ball into midfield. Now this is the instance where I do like. Heaven pressing into that midfield area. Being the wide centre-backs, you have to do that. And he eventually forces a turnover where United can get that ball back. Another instance here though, Wan-Bissaka, a little bit too much time on the ball. He can play that ball into midfield. Another instance where United are scrambling. Mino, you can see, caught in between pressing, caught in between that guy behind him. There should be someone there backing him up, but it's not. This system asks a lot of that midfield too. But again, far too much space in that midfield for me, for West Ham to exploit. And that's the big issue I've got sometimes with Amorim out of possession is, we've seen at times go to the 5-4-1. We've seen him use obviously that 4-4-2 to press. But far too often he goes back to that 5-2-3 shape, and it seems way too easy for the opposition to play through that shape and get onto United's back line. We saw it last season. Again, if we're going to see that again in the Premier League, it's just sending alarm bells ringing. In possession now, and there was definitely some passages of play that I really like from United. And you can see straight away from this picture here how high United's wing-backs were in certain situations. Something, again, that we've asked Amorim to do in the past, and he seems to be starting to do that a little bit more. Trusting to push those wing-backs on a little bit more in possession to try and stretch that play. So that's a really good thing to see from Amorim. But United's build-up, we've talked so much about it. It's become such a talking point in the last couple of weeks, really, just with that Leeds game. Straight away here, you can see United, you can see De Ligt on the edge of the box, number 4 there. The ball goes out to Lenny Yoro. This is an instance where this Amorim system and Højlund as a striker, this is exactly what he needs to do. The ball goes long into Højlund. Højlund does a very good little pass from the corner. It goes into Cunha and United create that sort of false transition. This is exactly what United and Amorim wants from that striker. Højlund did it in a couple of patches in this game. We just need to see it on a more consistent basis. As I've said, I think United would have gone for Gyökeres if he was more available. This is the instance where what he did for Sporting under Amorim, and Højlund has to do that same thing now. Another instance here where the centre-back is actually used in build-up. We don't see it very often, but this is the ideal situation for Amorim's build-up. De Ligt shows for the ball, plays it out to Euro in a little bit of space, and this time around United can get out. The ball goes into Cunha's feet, plays the ball back to Ugarte, then Ugarte plays the ball long into Fernandes, and then Fernandes can play the ball back into Cunha. These little sort of bounce passes, we're going up, then back, up, then back. That disrupts the opposition press, and United do eventually get out, and they can start to play in West Ham's half again. Another instance again, the last one I'm going to show, Bayender passes short to Aiden Heaven. This is another instance where midfielders, the number 10s, have to be very, very good at holding the ball up in the Amorim system. Heaven plays the ball into Minor, he flicks it around the corner, the West Ham player has to bring him down, otherwise United are onto that back line and they're starting to cause a really, really dangerous situation. With United, they can get forced wide and they can get forced to kick it long. But if the front players, Højlund, number 10s, Minor, if they can hold that ball up, if they can win that duel, then you are creating some very, very dangerous situations. Whether that's a sustainable method in the Premier League, we don't really know, and that's the question marks with the Amorim system. But this highlights what you can get out of it. Overall, I thought it was a very interesting game, and United didn't play badly. I didn't talk a lot about the last 20 minutes with that second 11 being in there because I think the game just got totally disjointed. United sat back and there wasn't really much to talk about. I'm kind of turning a blind eye to that one, to be honest. But there were definitely some really positive signs with Amorim playing Minor as that midfield player, Fernandes as the 10. That balance was so much better in this game. United did grow into it. The first 20 minutes, it was a little bit flat. But after that, we did grow into it. We got that 2-goal lead. It did get a bit disjointed with that second 11 coming on in that second half. But overall, some very good things, I think, to go and sort of work on in the next couple of games in this Premier League series now. And then hopefully taking that into the new Premier League season as well. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. As always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, drop it a like. Subscribe if you're new around here. I'll catch you in the next one.